and welcome back to Race Recap. My name is Jackson. This past weekend, we had the F1 drivers racing in the Grand Prix of Emilia, Romagna in Italy. Now, I mentioned in Italy because there'll be two Grand Prix in Italy this year, the one this past weekend in Imola, and then in a couple months in Italy, Monza. Now, the track description for Imola, it's a pretty normal track description. If you want to pause the video, take a look. Except there's only one DRS zone, see here, and the exit of turn number 19, and it goes down up into turn number 2, really just down the main straightaway. Really want to say that. And you're used to see at least 2 DRS zones. That's one of the interesting parts. And it was a bit weathery out there. Lots of rain on the track from the practice sessions, but when the race came, it was slippery, but not too wet. So that meant they were going to be on the intermediate tires, which are a mix between wet tires and the regular hard, soft, and medium compound tires. Now, the Grand Prix was 63 laps. As I mentioned, they started out on intermediate, and there was no DRS really for about half the race, which was really interesting. So, the first and only full course caution, which brought out the safety car, was in turns 2 and 3 on the opening lap, when the 55 of Carlos Sainz and the Ferrari had some contact with the 3 of Daniel Ricciardo. They both went sliding off into the gravel trap. Ricciardo was able to keep it going straight, but Carlos Sainz was stranded, and it did end his day. That's 2 DNFs in a row for Carlos Sainz. Now, also on the first lap, the 47 of Mick Schumacher spun right in turns 2 and 3, but I don't think it was related to the incident, or if it was, he was trying to check up and got hit from behind. But he was able to keep it going straight, but he did not really gain many positions back the rest of the race. And the last incident was brought out by Carlos Sainz's teammate at Ferrari. The number 16 of Charles Leclerc has had a pretty good start to the year, to say the least. He was running in third for most of the race with the 2 Red Bulls out front, and when DRS came back on, a couple guys made their last pit stops, including Leclerc, and he felt that he was within 1 second of Sergio Perez. That's how much you need to get your DRS, or a little extra boost down the straightaway. And he just pushed it too hard into the chicane I mentioned there in Sector 3, and he went up over the curb and spun out into the grass and made a little contact with the wall. He fell all the way back to 9th, but in the last couple laps was able to get back up to 6th. And the checkers went to Max Verstappen in the number 1. Second on the podium was his teammate at Red Bull, Sergio Perez, and third was the McLaren of Lando Norris, who ran a very smooth race. Well, that's all for Race Recap. Come join us in about 2 weeks when the F1 drivers are in the inaugural Grand Prix of Miami.